RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right, my friends, how are we doing? Welcome to our Friday night get-together. This is Tara Devlin, unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. I see the chat room filling up. Come on over to youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster to hang out with the greatest patriots and people in American history. All right, the cats are fucking going on. I tell you, I was going to start on time tonight, and I have to blame Boudica because she knocked my internet out right before I was ready to go. Oh shit! Now I'm knocking everything around. So, yeah, she's a very bad girl. I had to put something back there to block her. She's been going behind the computer. So she pulled the plug out. I don't know how. She was bad. So, all right. Just wanted to explain myself. I know, cats, right? It's that damn DEI. I had to get some diversity in here. And look what happened. I had to get, an orange cat. I had to get a black cat. I had to get a white cat. And look, it all went to shit. All right. God help us. And thank you, patrons at patreon.com. Speaking of God help us, thank you for helping the show, keeping the show going and growing. So go on over to YouTube. Well, what am I saying? Patreon.com/Tara Devlin if you want to support. There's also a one-off PayPal dingy in the description. And thank you, Charlie, from APS Radio News, for all you do to make the world a better place. And check out Charlie's APS Radio News. Yeah, another plane crash. And I don't know if another plane crash just happened. Trump is only in office 2 weeks. But I thought, we had the plane crash a few days ago. Was it yesterday? It feels like every day feels like 1,000 years. And before I keep going, I just want to remind people or tell people, I said it might be happening, but we're going to be talking to Ron Placone at 9:30. So I'm going to be calling in about, what time is it? 40 minutes. So we'll get Ron. I know he just finished a movie, and I don't know. I just want to talk to him about how the hell we get through this shit. We haven't spoken the entire election, and we all know that Ron is a little bit more to the left in a way, because he voted for, what did he vote? I don't know who he voted for this time, but he voted for, what's that woman? Whatever. She's a fucking annoying woman. The Russian agent. Shit. I wish I could forget all their names, frankly. Yeah, Jill fucking Stein. Okay. But we'll talk to Ron. I'm not going to put words in his mouth. Let's find out what he's thinking. He can't be enjoying this, that's for sure. And he's a straight guy, and he's married. And I'm sure they've considered having children in this fucking shit show. How do you bring kids into this fascist dictatorship where, you can't safely send them to school without wondering if they're going to make it home, or if they do come home in a body bag. And you'll get thoughts and prayers like nobody's ever seen, right? So, all right, let's talk to Ron when we give him a call. And I just want to hear what he's thinking. How's it going? All right, but in the meantime, it sucks. But we warned you. We've all been warning people, right? And I do enjoy the leopards eating your face Reddit page. That's probably the only thing that's keeping me going. But I immediately think, like, for example, let's go over there just whatever. get the story right here. Let's see, Reddit. The leopards. Excuse me, jeez. Let's see. Let's go here. There we go. Trump voter, federal employee, got deferred resignation email. Asks me for a job. So is your business going to offer me a job? You lost your job? Not yet. 8-month buyout is on the table. Well, I got news for you. And then his friend responds, gotta cut government waste. That was the outcome of the election, right? Government waste. And this is what we have been hearing for years. And I'm trying to really formulate my thoughts because I want to write an article about this, because the Republicans, they hate government, right? Government, they want to drown it. They want to beat it. They want to make it small like a baby and drown it in the bathtub. That's how fucked up they are, right? They make these metaphors. They want to shrink it so they can drown it in a bathtub. And what is that? What vision does that evoke in your mind? It makes you think of a child, right? Like or a baby. You're drowning the baby in a bath. I mean, it's just so sick, these people. And the whole system is sick, as we see. Everyone from man-child Musk to Traitor Trump. I mean, this is a very sick administration. Kash Patel, RFK fucking brainworm. I mean, these people are not well. They need help, and rather than inflict their manias on society. But what's the average asshole's excuse? The price of eggs. Well, how the price of eggs now? Because if we go over to the Project 2025 Reddit page, let's see, Project. I probably have it right here. Project 2025 awards. I was perusing it earlier. Look at that. $18.49 for a dozen eggs. Remember when that fucking JD Vance he did his video about how Harris is the price of eggs. I think it was, what was the price at the time? I wish that's kind of annoying about my computer. Every time I click the desktop, I got to figure out why. When I click the desktop, everything goes away. I don't want it to do that. I want it to do it when I click certain keyboard combinations. But let's see. Vance. I wonder if I have that handy. Vance and eggs. Because I'm catching up. You guys know that my hard drive's all broke because of Boudica. Again. Here it is. Here we go. Here's JD Vance in the supermarket when we were on the precipice of possibly having a decent president and a decent government that we could be proud of. One that isn't in there simply to smash and grab, destroy, and steal.
Right? Right here, sir.
Yep. Remember that?
Right here? Okay, sounds good. Okay.
Right here?
All right, guys.
Lying. He was lying, too.
I'm going to talk. Nice to meet y'all. Hey, guys. How you doing?
How you doing? I'm a real man. I'm a real human. With real human feelings. Can you tell?
Okay. All right. God bless you, Raymond. Thank you so much.
God bless you. Okay. God bless you.
Sorry, guys.
God bless you. Don't commit the sin of empathy, right? That's what one of these maggot preachers said. Don't commit the sin of empathy. After that bishop read from the Bible, be kind to the stranger. Don't commit the sin of empathy. Wait, all right. Just trying to get to the point here.
Now a dozen eggs will cost you around $4 thanks to Kamala Harris's inflationary policies.
Really?
Pennsylvania actually has seen some of
shit, that's not even... Of course, he's holding 2 dozen eggs there, but those bitches were all whining about $4. Now, it didn't take long for the leopards to come for the faces. But yeah, $18? I don't think I've ever seen it that high. $18. Sunshine Farms, $18. And what do you think the Trumpanzees are going to do about that? They got no plans, because government, gotta drown it in the bathtub. But they love, you see, and I hate to say it, and that's why it sucks to be right, literally and figuratively, because I've been right. I don't want to be right. I want to be, proven wrong. I wish that doing what they're doing, destroying the entire government that the founders fought a revolution to create and entrust to us, that promotes the general welfare, that we've made progress over the last 250 years trying to make a more perfect union in this constitutionally limited democratic republic nation of immigrants, right? Multiracial liberal democracy. I wish doing what they're doing actually made a more perfect union, but it doesn't. All it does is destroy and tear people apart, because regardless of what they're doing, doing away with every holiday or commemorate or any kind of tribute or reminder that we are a multiracial society and we've all made contributions to this thing, and we're all worthy of respect. That's what they hate, regardless of them rolling back Black History Month, Gay Pride Month, Women's History Month, whatever it might, all of it, it's gone. Martin Luther King Day, all of those commemorations are gone. I guess the only thing we'll celebrate is when The Art of the Deal came out or something like that. A second favorite book of all time. First is, of course, 2 Corinthians go into a bar. And, the Bible, equal. I like it equal. Both sides. Both sides do it, but I like it equal. I'm an Old Testament, New Testament guy. Both sides, equal. It's very personal to me. I can't discuss it. I don't want to, it's very precious to me. All right, like the copy of Mein Kampf I had on my bedside table. But these maggots, they all hate government until you take it away from them, right? They want to drown it in the bathtub. Then all of a sudden, government, they flick the light switch and off it goes. And then they're like, wait, whoa, hey, you mean mommy's on wheels? My federal job? Me, fucking me? And this is the problem. You understand that they are pathologically sick and selfish? I mean, selfishness is the problem here. It is a pathology to them. And I'm sorry, maggots, even though I know one of your preachers says don't commit the sin of empathy, and that you pass around a book by Anne Effin Rand. That was required reading for many of these maggots before they were maggots, when they were teabaggers and just Reagan, whatever the fuck they call themselves, Reagan Democrats, or just plain old conservatives with a goddamn axe to grind, just so put upon by this nation of immigrants, right? So everyone was always picking on, like Clarence Thomas and all of these Republicans, who are on the Supreme Court. They and many more. Paul Ryan was one of them. Would pass around. They would make it required reading for their staff to read Atlas Shrugged, because that's such an important book. Meaning, like, fuck off. I got mine. Sucks to be you. And frankly, I wish they would shrug. Atlas Shrug. Go fucking shrug off. Shrug away. Get the F out. Go to the woods. Elon Musk, get the F out of here. Leave us alone. Leave society alone. Because, regardless of their pathology, their selfish, it really is psychopathy. The pathological selfishness and the fact that they only see the light when something affects them directly. That is selfishness. And these people, they envy somebody like Elon Musk because they wish they could be rich as him, and they could treat people like shit, just like he does, because that's all it is for them, because they're such tiny people, and they lack the fundamental decency to function in a free democracy, because you gotta, not be a dirtbag that is pathologically selfish. You have to be, somewhat emotionally intelligent, right? And you don't have to be like a genius, but you have to have you have to be a functional adult, for Christ's sakes, where, especially if you're in government, if you're representing your community, and how sick it is for anyone. And that's why we talk about it all the time. Like, how are these people, how much do you have to hate yourself to vote for, I don't know, pick anyone, J.D. Vance, for Christ's sakes. Somebody who is just a billionaire's bitch, basically. A billionaire who hates democracy. But no, I don't know. I mean, I'm really thinking about like today, I was just thinking about how everything that got us here again. Of course, I went right to the media, because it's like, they're the ones that normalized this. Did anyone in the entire campaign hear anyone on the corporate media point out that J.D. Vance is bankrolled by Peter Thiel, a billionaire, who's a very sick person, another rich rat born on third base, thinking he hit a triple, made some good investments. Now his sociopathy, in his psychopathy, thinks that, he wants to play with the entire world, because it's not enough for him to be up there, to be a billionaire. He's got to have your Social Security, your Medicare, health care, food, like, these are people that could cure world hunger, and they are busy sending out, pink slips to people. That's how sick they are, right? But did you hear in the campaign anyone in the corporate media talk about the fact that Peter Thiel bankrolled J.D. Vance, he really is not fit to be the vice president, much less a senator, but for Peter Thiel. And what the hell, who is a billionaire who says that democracy, he doesn't believe in democracy. I'm not putting words in his mouth. That's what he says. So how do you, if you are someone who claims to love America, how do you hook yourself up with a billionaire who says he hates America? Because that's what he's saying. The founders didn't put their asses on the line, pledge their lives, fortunes, and sacred honor to each other, which sounds pretty goddamn woke to me. But they didn't do it so they can make one man, or a handful even, rule all of us. They did it so we could have a country that, a country born in the liberal age of enlightenment, something different, the antithesis of what they had left behind. But hey, this is the problem, the American people. And sometimes, now that we saw what happened in this election, this election was won in a squeaker, right? 31, and as all the votes came in now, even though Greg Palast has said, if you go to gregpalast.com, I should ask him to come on the show to explain it, but he said that according to all his research and going through all the provisional ballots that weren't counted, and the people who showed up at the voter rolls and found out they were no longer on the rolls because they were purged, that Harris won. She would have won Pennsylvania. She would have won Georgia. She would have won these other swing states. Those are the two I remember off the top of my head. And she would have won the election. And that sounds pretty goddamn plausible to me. And most of the people that were purged, of course, were either students or black people. This is what we're dealing with. This is what the Republicans have been doing for my entire life. And they've been getting away with it and it's only going to get worse now with the media because the purge is on, what they're doing. So going after the federal government. But and like I was saying, when they shut down the government, and then these maggots are like, wait, me too? That's what they mean. Me too, right? Hold on. That's the new meaning of me too. The leopards eat my face too? Yeah, gotta cut government waste. See, this is what makes me so sick, besides everything else about them, is that none of this is necessary. None of this has to happen. Nobody needs to lose their jobs. Nobody needs to, I don't know, not have Meals on Wheels, or nobody needs to fly in an unsafe airplane because of these maggots. Nobody needs to, what do you think they're doing when, he fires all the leadership at the FDA, right? The safety board. The leader of the FDA was asked to resign because he fined Elon Musk for his unsafe practices at SpaceX, right? And they said, the fine is the only way I can make this fucker comply. But because that you can't have that in a country that is nothing but a cacistocracy that functions to lick one con man's ass. But, that's where we are. You don't think that has any effect on the people who work there? I know they want to blame DEI, and now we find out that the pilot was a woman, right? But that's, here nor there. She had 500 hours of flight. I'm not a flight expert, but all I know, regardless, this dirtbag blames Biden, blames Pete Buttigieg. I know that Pete Buttigieg was in office for years. Millions of flights took off and landed safely with not one air crash, no mid-air collisions, nothing. But if you don't think that what he's doing in these agencies has no effect on the people who work there, even the air traffic controllers, for example. Him firing the leadership, doing away with safety, putting on a hiring freeze, and every fucking day they're getting a new memo about some bullshit. If you don't think that has an effect on someone's stress level, then you're not a human being. Then you're Peter Thiel. Then you're man-child Musk. Then you're sociopath. Then you're Traitor Trump. These people are not well. And what else are gonna happen? What else is gonna happen when you have sick people in positions of leadership? Of course, things are gonna suck. But this is everything that they promised, by the way. That's why this is the other thing that I keep hearing on the corporate media. I would never hear on the corporate media that J.D. Vance is bankrolled by a billionaire who hates democracy. But I hear all the time on the corporate media about how, well, people voted for this, but they don't put it in context. Did people vote for it? Did people vote for Project 2025? Because Traitor Trump, he swore on his mother's vagina that he knew nothing about it. He even said a Project 25, he would call it. He knew it was what it was. He tried to seem like, I don't even know what it's called. Like all of these maggots who go before, trying to get cabinet positions, all these unfit maggots who lie about who the hell they are. Right? Do you believe in vaccines? Yeah, like all of a sudden, it's like, they have a conversion because they're liars. They're liars. Did you have an enemies list? I do not have an enemies list. Well, it's right here. Here's your enemies list. We have the book right here. So when were you lying? Now? Are you lying right now, or were you lying in your book about here's your enemies? And so that's why, they, what was I saying? Putting these maggots and all of of course, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK, Kash Patel, all the incredibly offensive maggots, they're all offensive. I don't think any Democrat should vote for a single one of them, but of course they are, because that's a fucking Democrat for you. They make me sick. And I wonder, are they going to get it? Are they ever going to get it? Are they ever going to watch this show and get it? right? Are they going to understand? Because what I was saying, actually, what was I saying? I wasn't saying, I was saying it to somebody, but I was saying that, who was I saying this to? I don't know, it doesn't matter. That they should call it the Trump plane crash. Another Trump plane crash. Why? Why not? You don't think that if the shoe was on the other foot, they would call it Biden's plane crash? This is what I'm talking about. The Democrats need to stop having strongly worded emails or reading something, a statement of outrage with your head down, Chuck Schumer, and, you know, talk, say it right to the American people. This is a Trump plane crash. He did this. He did that. There are consequences. Every action has a reaction. This is cause and effect. And if these people, you know, like this idiot on this, you know, if they think that it doesn't matter. What does it do to a country where people are getting pink slips? You don't know. You're waking up one day, getting emails. Everything that's going on at the FBI. Did you know that they painted over a mural of the FBI values on the wall because it included the word diversity and integrity? And they painted it over. Let's see. It's absolutely gross. Let's FBI mural. Painted over. Yep. Well. Isn't that wonderful? Nice and gray, right? That's what they do. This is what maggots do to everything they touch. They take decency, beauty, right? They turn it into an ugly gray. Just an ugly gray color. Right? No, nothing interesting. No vibrancy. No beauty. Yeah, you got to get rid of that fairness, leadership, compassion, diversity, integrity, stability, sensibility. Those are, oh my Lord. Initiative? Forget it. This is such a metaphor for what maggots do. It's like we're in the world of Oz and they want us to, Kansas, she wanted to get back to Kansas, but they like that black and white world, right? No beauty, no, they even said, you have this Pete Hegseth mother effer. Where is it? I have so many videos, it's not even funny. Yeah, I have a video of Pete Hegseth saying that, let's see, diversity. Yes, here it is. Where's my ecam?
What's happening with DEI? How's that going at the Defense Department?
Well, DEI is not going well at the Defense Department because it's dead. We will, as the president said in his inaugural, we will be merit-based and colorblind, and that is the case at the Defense Department. DEI is going to be ripped out root and branch because we want everyone treated equally with high standards and held accountable with warfighting, lethality, and readiness front and center. We don't have time for emphasizing differences. Jesse, one of the dumbest phrases in military history is our diversity is our strength. Our diversity is not our strength.
You feel
our unity and our shared purpose is our strength. And the Pentagon
stepped on the punchline there. Did you hear it?
Our unity and our shared purpose is our strength. And the Pentagon is excited to get back to that core mission. The dumbest phrases in military history is our diversity is our strength. Our diversity is not our strength. Can
you believe that? Our diversity is not our strength. It's a weakness, right? See, and the funniest thing that he said, it's without a hint of irony. He goes on about how we're going to be merit-based. It's all going to matter about, your skill set. whether you're qualified, whether you're fit for the job. This is a fucking guy who couldn't show up to his Fox News day job sober. Okay? Who's got numerous sexual assault, credible allegations, of course. He had to settle many of them. Who's cheated on all of his wives, who's abused all of his wives. His mother calls him a serial abuser of women. And on top of it, not just his unfit personality, on top of it, he ran 2 small veterans organizations into the ground. So all of that would be a disqualifier if not for his very not mediocre, underwhelming, unfit white boy affirmative action. Jesus. Hold on. We'll be right back. This is Tarabuster. And look at this Waters bitch over here. His face of smugness. Look, and one thing that keeps me going too, besides the leopards eating my faces or their faces, Reddit page, is knowing that eventually we're gonna wipe those smirks right off their faces. I mean, legally and peacefully. I hope in my lifetime, because this never ends well. The saving grace is that they're incompetent. They are disgusting. People don't like them. And they're only revealing themselves and revealing that they don't know how to run things. That's why, I mean, it's really disgraceful how he gets up there, how that traitor, that tax cheating, draft dodging, convicted felon con man gets up in the White House press room, not even hours after the plane crash, and blames everybody but himself. Just blaming, but not who needs to assign blame at that time anyway, when you're still figuring out what happened. There will be an investigation. No other president would behave like that, because he's a maggot. He is a tiny little maggot eating away at the body politic that they're trying to kill. And that's what I mean when maggots think that, government sucks, doesn't it? Just shut off the lights. Government, the 9 most dangerous words or terrifying words. But that's not true. And this is why the Democrats need to grow a spine and bring it to them. Don't call them pro-life. They're not pro-life. They're pro-death. They're pro-women bleeding out in parking lots. They're pro-control, pro-fascism. But it's not, against DEI. Well, that sounds like that could just be anything. They've taken all meaning out of these words. Call it what it is. They're effing racist. They might as well simply say the N-word. When you listen to them in that press conference, I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but that's what I was waiting for them to slip up and just say the N-word. Because what they're saying is it's black people's fault. That's what they're saying. I mean, they're not saying, I'm sure they're saying it's women's fault too. And it's the crippled, right? Did they say something like that? It's disabled people. All of the same policies that he had last time, but that was before Project 2025, before these actual Nazis got a hold of his brain worm, because that's all he has is a brain worm. He doesn't have a brain. I mean, they're all sick people, and he's a puppet. He's Elon Musk's puppet, and Musk wants this done because he needs to rule Earth. That's it. And I have to ask why. Why do we not stop him? But we will. I really believe that eventually, if and maybe sooner than I thought, really, because I didn't think I'd say, I told you so early in the game, only a mere 2 weeks. But people are not going to stand for this. And the whole thing is absolutely repugnant because he has no constitutional authority. First of all, that's the other thing that drives me crazy. And I hope that you're calling your representatives and your senator and your representatives every day, like I do. Not every day, maybe every other day. But that's what we're gonna have to do, and tell them, enough is enough. Either you gotta fight this or it's over. This is it. This is the army we got. It's the Democratic Party standing in the breach, like it or not. And, I wish it was different, frankly, but this is where, you go to war with the army you got. And I wonder sometimes if they're up to the job, frankly, but it's not about talking Republicans into being something they're not. I mean, let's face it, they're not. This is everything I've been saying for years. They're not fit. I've been saying for years that they have no interest in a functioning democracy. It's all about. I mean, they have at the time. They would give lip service to democracy and say, "Oh yeah, we all believe in democracy," but they don't. Their actions speak otherwise. And now it's simply right out in the open. Project 2025 and is exactly what they're implementing, and it's the Nazi playbook. So, let's not call it Project 2025. Let's call it what it is. The fascist authoritarian destruction of the system that the founders entrusted to us. And if that doesn't say, I hate America, I don't know what does. Because they hate America. As I've been saying for years, and I've been bringing the receipts. I wish it was wrong. I wish I was wrong. I wish that they, everything that they talk about, that that billionaires, that it made a more perfect union, and that everybody was free and wonderful and happy. But no. How? I mean, what the fuck do they think they're doing? It's such a bloated government? Because what they're doing is dragging this country, whether we like it or not, and we don't like it. That's the thing. Nobody voted for Project 2025, even if you voted for the idiot, because you're an idiot. No, you didn't vote for Project 2025 because he promised you to the moon, up and down, that he didn't know what it was. I don't know, somebody wrote something and I don't like, I don't know what this Project 25 is. Yeah, all these executive actions, all of them mirror all those Project 2025 proposals. And the other thing is, I don't understand why, and this is what I have to remind myself when I call the Democrats and say, why is anyone taking any of these executive orders seriously? Because he has no control over anything. He has no control over funding. He doesn't have, the purse strings. That's Congress. And then I just saw something, I was telling you, on that Nextdoor app, somebody wrote, one of these fucking Trumpanzees wrote, because we have congestion pricing now in New York. And some people don't like it, I guess, or whatever. And so some Trumpanzee posted, Trump says that he will undo congestion pricing. Who the fuck is he to undo congestion pricing? It's none of his business. Where's the states' rights? Where's the, I thought, freedom and all that. He has no control over what the legislature of New York passes. It's not like they're passing a whites-only bathroom that these assholes want to get to, right? For real. Who is his? It's not his fucking business. Go away. Go take a bribe. Go take Zuckerberg's bribe for your stupid library. You know what I mean? LIE. Okay. Now that I've yelled in your ears, let's give Ron Placone a call. What do you think? Everybody? Let's see. Let me just send him a warning text. Gonna call you now on Skype-a-rooney. Skype. Okay. What do you think? Sounds like a plan? All right, let's see. I'm interested to hear what he has to say for himself. I don't know. I actually just Googled, told my computer to open Skype-a-rooney. Skype-a-rooney, the little Skypey program. Let's see. Where is him? Hold on a second. Here we go. Here we go. All right, cool. He said, yep. Dingity ding. Wonderful, wonderful. Oh my God, where are you? I see you. All right, you look good. Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in so long.
It has been a long time.
I know. I haven't heard. I mean, we didn't talk really the entire election season.
No, hadn't heard from you.
I know.
Didn't know your number changed.
I know.
None of it.
I know.
I was.
Well, I got doxxed.
In the dark.
So, yeah.
That's so freaking.
Yeah, you got to be
wild.
careful. You know, fucking right wingers. They're not out there making the world safe for democracy. They're like trying to send me pizzas and shit. So. You know.
Yeah, I just gave myself a background. I did not mean to. I'm trying to unmirror my camera, but
are you like your opposite as your?
Yeah, I'm like mirrored.
That's weird.
I hate that.
Yes,
Here,
I
wait,
hate that
I think
too.
This does
It is kind of weird when
Maybe.
you see yourself like that because you're not looking.
Yeah.
You know, used to your like everybody's face is, well, most.
Yeah.
Except for Angelina Jolie. That's why she's considered so beautiful because she has a very symmetrical face. I saw a whole thing about it. Oh yeah, hold on. Well, while you're checking that out, we'll be right back with Ron Placone. Okay, we're back. We're back. You didn't hear that music, right? It didn't come
I thought I heard a knocking. That's why I was like, "Is that your dinner?" Like,
oh no,
no! I thought maybe the delivery person was there.
No.
And you're getting. I actually had takeout Chinese tonight. It was wonderful.
Well, that's good.
Probably gonna have a little more of it in a bit. Yeah.
You gotta.
No, it's great.
You gotta hold on to the little things in life.
You really do. Yeah. Oh,
so what?
Boy.
Let's. Do you want to fix your camera? Or you just want to dive in?
I guess I'll just roll with it because I don't know how to turn it off.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see.
Like,
well,
I'm not here. Let me see if I can.
What kind of camera is this? It's a camera thing, or it's your webcam that's doing it?
Yeah, it's just my webcam, and usually there's a thing where you can just unclick
right.
the mirror thing, but for some reason I'm like not finding it. Oh well, it's no big deal.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Mirror on webcam. Let's see. I'm just asking the AI if it has any suggestions. Let's see. What does it say? It's still thinking about it. Uncheck. It says for Zoom, go to settings, click video, and uncheck mirror my.
Oh, I guess it's only in my preview. It's saying. All right, never mind.
Yeah,
All
maybe
right.
it's not your. Maybe it's not
Maybe
on
it's
the.
Just me.
Right. Look at the. Do you see the feed or not?
No, I just see you.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's okay. I don't know. If no one's complaining, we'll just.
No one's complaining. You look fine to me, so I don't. It doesn't look weird to me. So maybe
right.
you. That's sometimes when I do the settings on my webcam, it is backwards, you know.
Yeah,
but it
and you
goes
gotta
out
flip it.
normal.
Yeah. All right. Well.
So that's probably what's happening.
I don't use. You're the only. This is the first time I've used Skype in like.
Oh, okay.
A year and a half.
What do you usually use?
StreamYard.
StreamYard, right?
And then I know a couple people who use OBS still,
right?
Because there's certain things. But I feel like all the cool kids are on StreamYard.
StreamYard, but that's like a one-shop thing, right? Everything goes through StreamYard. Is that it? Like you do the whole show?
Yeah, you can do the whole show. You can stream to a bunch of different places. I don't know. It's just to me, it's way easier to use than Skype, I think.
Well, because I use Ecamm. That's that's how I do the show. And I don't know if I started something new, it would be like I'd have to learn it. And this is how I started. So,
no, I got
yeah. Like OBS, this is another thing.
If you ever tried StreamYard, I think you'd be addicted really quick. And a lot of the issues, they used to have like a crinkle issue, and they've since resolved it. It looks like.
A crinkle?
Lucy,
What's a crinkle?
Yeah, like there'd be like a crinkle in your audio. It was weird.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you can
That's
hear
odd.
Lucy. She's saying
I
hello.
don't see Lucy. Where is she?
Well, she's coming over here now.
Oh, I hear her.
Yeah, she'll kind of meow, and then she'll get close enough.
She's a
like
beauty.
She's not sure if she wants that.
Aw.
I did.
Lucy!
I posted a funny thing on social. At least I took a couple pictures of her with like sort of an indifferent look on her face, as cats do often.
Yes.
And I really did do this. Like I became an uncle again today.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Congrats.
I have a new nephew. I'm really excited. And
Nice.
yeah. So I told Lucy. I took a picture of Lucy, and then I told Lucy she has a new cousin, and I took a picture again. And I posted the before.
And what was her face? Oh my
it's
god.
It's just exactly the same.
That's awesome. She had
Yeah.
no effect.
That was the way I wanted to make the announcement to everybody. I'm like, the entire household is excited. Look at Lucy. Upon learning she has a new cousin.
That's good. See, cats will hopefully get us through this time. I don't know let's discuss what's happening. How you feeling? Let's start off.
Oh, I think it's I mean, I think it's going to be a lot worse than the first time, because I think he surrounded himself with an even worse clown car.
Yes.
I didn't think that was possible,
I know.
but it is. And he is I mean, you know, I am not a fan of Joe Biden. You know that about me. I like him as far as I can throw him. I think he did a terrible job. But the few good things that he did, I mean, there were a couple good things. A pointing line of con. You know, some of the, I mean, the IRA was grossly insufficient, but there was still some stuff that we definitely needed. And
I think, you know, it was always about getting those Republican votes. So a lot of it was watered down and all that.
It wasn't
all
on him. It wasn't all on him. A lot of it was, though. But yeah, I mean, I hear you. It's not like you can't just point the finger only at him. But you know, what few good things that administration did have, and there were only a few, if we're being honest, but you know, he's rolling back that. I mean, he rolled back the potential water protections that weren't even in place. They were just sort of introduced. You know, he'll roll back the drilling ban and by the way, I mean, you know, let's be fair here, that was simply a symbolic gesture by Joe Biden. He did it on his way out the door. He knew Trump was going to overturn it.
I know.
You know, that's just the BS that they both pull. And so I think this tariff thing is going to be a disaster.
Oh yeah, well that's probably
be
a good thing though, in a way.
No, it's not.
No, I mean that
people aren't going to be able to afford groceries.
No, I know, but I know 100%. It's already. I was just showing. I don't know if you were watching, but we were talking about on the Project 2025 Reddit page. People are posting pictures of eggs at $18 a dozen in certain places. So, and then I played a video of JD Vance, and is, you know, doing a stunt in a supermarket during the campaign, saying, "Oh, what an outrage it was! Eggs were $4 a dozen, and actually it was for 2 dozen." He was lying, you know. So it was, you know, and that's only a few weeks in, and of course it's because of the bird flu. But they got no plans. They got no plans to rectify that, or they got nothing.
I mean, well, and you bring up the bird flu. It is so incredibly disturbing and scary that they have silenced our health agencies.
Yes.
And look, I'm not saying that these agencies are beyond criticism. Of course they're not.
Right.
I mean, I sometimes refer to the CDC as the Capitalism Defense Center. You know, I mean, I think they put capitalism first and public health second all too often.
Very much true. Yep.
But I mean, to silence them,
right? About public health.
Psychotic.
Well, that's what Republicans have been doing for years, though, and even before. But now it's really there's no holding them back.
I mean, this is really on the nose, though.
Right.
I mean, I mean, we are still technically in a pandemic. It's not COVID did not go away. People love to pretend it did, but it did not go away. And this thing with bird flu, we don't even know exactly how bad it is. I mean,
I know.
It is beyond. I mean, we are, and planes keep crashing.
Oh, I know.
mean, this is like.
Well, that's what I was saying too.
Holy shit.
Yeah, because what he did he disbanded the aviation safety board or whatever committee, and he forced the head of the is it the head of the FAA? I have the list over here somewhere. To resign because of Elon Musk. He fined Elon Musk for his exploding rockets, and he said that, for SpaceX violating safety rules, and he said, well, that's the only way I could get him to comply. But then, of course, he was forced to resign, and then the hiring freeze on the air traffic controllers, and then the emails coming in about whatever DEI and all this other bullshit. Don't use your pronouns. Don't do this. That has an effect on people. That if you're working in a federal job, don't you think that has a stress effect on you? You don't know what you're going to encounter from one day to the next, and they already have a high stress job. So God knows.
There's just nothing else behind it but other than to be cruel.
Yep.
Like why can't you just? What is the problem using somebody's preferred?
I know.
Why is that a problem?
It's too much.
How does that impact your life in any way whatsoever?
It doesn't. It's absolutely disgusting because it's their way of, I don't know what it is. I mean, I try to think like you're saying, what is it about them? Why is it such a fucking burden to just call people what they want to be called? What is your problem?
I mean, you and I are both, we've been around long enough to have seen this record played before.
Yeah.
And, like 20 years ago, it was the L and the G, right? Like the L and the G. And I mean,
right.
You can speak to this way better than I can. I mean, but the L and the G, they were the targets. And then people saw through that for just the hate-mongering propaganda that it was.
Yeah, right.
Well, now it's the T. It's the transgender community.
Yep.
It's the same bullshit. But this is an easier target because now you can trick people easier.
Right.
You
it's
can
very
you
true.
can. A lot of people don't understand what gender affirming care actually is and what it all involves. So they really do believe that we are living in a world where a 7-year-old can go into a counselor's office and say, I'm confused, and then at noon later that day, they are a different gender.
Right.
That does not happen. That has never happened. That will never happen. But there are people who are convinced that that's actually what goes on.
Which is really pathetic,
and
right?
It's pretty pathetic. It's pretty pathetic that you just can't be bothered to learn. I mean, if you don't know what gender-affirming care is and what it involves, try to learn about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or ask somebody.
Yeah, hold on a second, Ron. Hold on. We'll be right back with Ron Placone. Hold on. All right, we're back. I have to do the music cues for progressive voices, but anyway, go ahead.
Am I allowed to cuss?
You can.
Okay,
I've been cursing up a storm, so yes, you're allowed.
I mean, how can you not in today's day and age?
I know.
Like, it's so ridiculous.
It's really, it's a stress reliever, It's like, what the fuck? I can't, just 2 weeks of this. Yeah, but exactly.
No, they're just the newest scapegoat. I mean, it's the same record that we've heard before, where it's like we're eroding society at a ridiculous level. So let's try to convince you that your problem is the trans person. Let's try to convince you that your problem is the immigrant. I mean, they never stopped blaming the immigrant. And oh, by the way, look at what we're seeing with all of these mass deportations. Aside from it being morally repulsive, here in California where I live, a bunch of people weren't able to show up to work today at the farms. So there are there are fields and fields of citrus literally rotting here in California. And guess what else happened in California? We got the wildfires. We had a lithium explosion, northern of the state, where most of the nation's greens are, where most of the nation's greens are grown. And I don't just mean pot. I mean your lettuce. I mean everything.
Right.
And 75% of pretty much all domestic fruits and vegetables come from California. Right. And a bunch of people aren't there to harvest right now. And put that on top of these frickin' tariffs that's going to raise the prices anyway. So we got less food domestically. because of Trump's bullshit and because of natural disasters. And of course, we're not blaming climate change or anything like that. We're blaming, well, there was some horrible mismanagement that happened here. That you know, two things could be true at the same time. But we're also in a freaking climate crisis. And you know, it's gonna get wild. And by the way, since we're on the topic of food, the only thing standing in the way of the Kroger-Albertsons merger, which would really homogenize the grocery chain, Lina Khan was the only thing standing in the way. She's gone now.
Yeah.
Probably the best part of the Biden administration was her appointment.
Wow.
That was by far, I think, the best thing he did, and I give credit where it's due. Credit for that. She's amazing. Lina Khan's a freaking hero.
Wow.
She's gone now.
Wow.
So, I mean, if that merger goes through,
it will.
It's going to get bad.
Because that's all. This is a pay-to-play administration. I mean, it's not. It's a maladministration. This is all about smashing and grabbing. You know, their whole tech bro move fast, break things bullshit. Yeah. And that's the, you know, and what's so disgusting, and which this is what I hope, you know, when I try to have some hope, is that I just hope that people have had enough by the time everything is done. And I hope, you know, I hope there's something to rebuild, of course, but that people understand that, you know, billionaires are they shouldn't exist. No. They are a danger to society. They need to be taxed down to size. So, you know, they could be rich, you can have a nice life, but there's no reason why any one person needs $1 billion. It's just absolutely disgusting.
You would never spend it in a lifetime.
No.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's about oppression. It's about the same system that the founders fought a revolution to overthrow. That's what they're dragging us back to, the serfs and lords society.
Oh, we're there. They're not dragging us back there. We're there.
Well,
I mean, we have. I mean,
when they're done,
the average American has less vacation time than a medieval peasant.
That's right. Well, you're right, and in fact, you're right. I mean, the income disparity in the United States, it's worse than it was in ancient Rome. Okay. Yeah. Which is pretty horrible to say, but when you put it in those terms, it's disgusting. But what's more just I mean it's all disgusting, but the I don't get these right wingers too that are like somebody I was just saying was in that Nextdoor app, who's like somebody in my neighborhood, I guess. But we have congestion pricing here in New York, and they were like, I guess they don't like it or whatever. And she's like, well, Trump said whoever it was posted, Trump said he will undo congestion pricing. Like, what the fuck?
You have that at the grocery stores already?
No, we have congestion pricing in New York. Like, you can't go into New York without paying a toll now into Manhattan.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
congestion pricing. Yeah. So people aren't driving as much. So because it's $9 to like get into the heart of Manhattan during the day.
Why would you drive in New York anyway?
It depends. Sometimes I would drive in.
Why would you drive in New York unless you are? Well, you're from there, so I mean,
sometimes I would drive just because I didn't feel like taking the subway. But I mostly would ride my bike, frankly.
That's the most. I mean, that sentence sounds so ridiculous to me.
I know.
Like that just sounds. So, and I get it. You're from there, so it's just a totally different. But the idea of like, I just didn't feel like taking the subway, so I decided instead to put myself through the most stressful thing you could possibly do in a vehicle. Driving in fucking Manhattan.
I know. Well, when I had visitors come to New York, and just driving in, just the way that they, like with their hands on the dashboard, like, oh my god,
I mean, look,
very stressful.
I was a road comic for years. I've driven in I've driven in Boston, I've driven DC, I've driven San Francisco more times than I can count. I drive LA all the time. It is nothing compared to New York. Yeah. I mean, that's the one. Although that is the one place. There's only a few places where, like, I would never ever even consider driving here. Napoli, Italy is one of them. New York City is one of them.
Oh, okay.
And a couple others. But,
it's definitely. I guess I'm used to it. I don't. I basically don't go into the city as much as I used to since COVID or whatever. So, which is good. I'm fine with that. But Yeah, I could see how it's stressful, but I was used to. I'm used to it, so yeah. But
I was in New York for the first time. It's kind of funny. I didn't reach out to pretty much anyone, and if I would have reached out to you, it would have gotten bounced back to me anyway.
Oh, right, that's true.
But
that is true.
But it was the first time in my life I went to New York just for fun.
Oh, that's good.
But the reason I didn't reach out to anyone was I was supposed to see my family there. It was a surprise for my birthday. One of my favorite bands is a band called The Hold Steady, and they do this string of shows in Brooklyn every year, and it's always the weekend of my birthday.
Oh, nice.
So my wife surprised me with tickets, and she said, "Here's the other cool part of the surprise. You know, the family's coming in from Pittsburgh to meet us there."
Oh, wonderful.
And I was like, "That is
awesome. That is nice."
So I didn't reach out to any friends. I figured
right,
I'd be
you
busy
had
with
your
family stuff.
Right.
There was a snowstorm in Pittsburgh that weekend. Their flight got canceled.
Oh no!
And because it was just for a weekend, they really couldn't figure out something else without having to pretty much show up and turn around. So
right.
So yeah, it ended up just being my wife and I. We had an amazing time. I mean, we just, we had 48 hours in New York City. We used 47 of them.
What did you do?
Well, we went to the concert. We had dinner in Brooklyn. We went to a lot of nice restaurants. We went ice skating at Rockefeller Center.
Oh, lovely.
It was in December. Yeah, we went to Central Park. We went to a couple different neighborhoods and just kind of explored some cafes and stuff.
That's
I mean, for
nice.
all of us, like for both of us, all of us. There were only two of us.
Right,
but,
all of us too.
It was, I mean, she's been to New York some in her life, and so have I. So it's not like we, I mean, we've seen. But we went to, what's that one? The one market thing near the 52nd Pier. What is that place called?
Oh,
it's like a, it's a
Chelsea
popular
Market.
spot.
Chelsea
yeah,
Market.
we went there. We explored all over there.
That's great.
And then we
Chelsea
went to
Market.
the like glass island thing, like
across.
the
High Line. Is that it?
We went to that, and then we went to this other this sort of like outdoor museum that they made out of like an old train track.
Oh,
thing.
yeah, that's the High Line. That must be the part of the High Line.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on a
like
second. We'll be right back with Ron Placone. Hold on. All right, we're back. I know, it's annoying. I wish you could hear the music. I don't know how to get it to route out to you. Anyway.
But so I had a good old time in New York City. And,
Sounds good.
I mean,
when was this? When
First
is your...
weekend of December.
Oh, okay. Before the whole world turned to shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he had already won at that point.
Oh yeah. What am I talking about?
But
December. Yeah, the election was already over.
Yeah, but he wasn't.
Yes, he wasn't
he
there.
Wasn't. We were hoping that.
Wow.
I mean, I was just hoping. I guess I still am hoping that it just sort of ends up like the first round.
That he gets.
Well,
impeached?
he just keeps. Well, not
well,
even
he
that.
sucks. Yeah.
I think the impeachment didn't do anything. But,
no.
But just the fact that he doesn't get along with anybody.
Yeah, he's horrible.
They spent a lot of that. They spent a lot of those 4 years in chaos.
Of
course.
That's why,
like I'm like,
chaos.
man, as terrible as he is, I'm still glad we didn't end up with President Pence, because that guy would that guy would have gotten shit done,
Right. Well, that's
but
true.
But this time around, he seems to have a bit of a different demeanor this time around. I think maybe he just doesn't care.
I think so. And it's the billionaires, though. It's the Project 2025 people pulling his strings.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be doing this without all of that, without the people who wrote Project 2025.
Those are people, and that's a scary freaking document. That is
yes,
a disturbing
it is.
Freaking document.
And people did, I was telling my aunt about Project 2025. I mean, of course, she didn't vote for the fucking, baboon, of course. But I was telling, it sounds so out of, like, the realm of possibility. I'm like, and all of this is going to happen in a blitzkrieg. That's it. That was in Project 2025. It was the first 120 days. In 3 months, they were going to transform the entire federal government, including what they're doing. I mean, everything they're doing. They're implementing it. And they do it quickly because they know that we won't be able to respond to it. It's just like how Hitler, trampled across France and conquered France in a matter of days. It was just too fast. And That's what they're trying to do. And it's in Project 25. It's 2025. All the government restructuring, of course, the executive orders, deregulating everything. Did he disband the what do you call it, the National Labor Relations Board too?
He's trying to get
yeah, and I mean, and of course there will be national abortion ban and all that will be thrown to the the base, but and every anti-trans. Which is also what the Nazis did too. They are following the Nazi playbook.
People forget that they attacked a sexual research center before anything else.
That was it.
Yeah, I mean that was the first thing they went after.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's and then I mean you have Elon Musk, Sieg Halling.
Oh, I know. Well, that's the thing, and they're so to say for him, and of course I have a video of him. I mean, you probably saw the video of somebody put him side by side with actual Nazis doing the Sieg Heil.
Anyone trying to dispute, that's not what he's doing. He's autistic.
Yeah,
cool story.
Autistic.
Cool story. Cool fantasy.
Right.
No, he knows exactly what he did.
Exactly.
Is he an actual Nazi? Probably.
Yes, he is. He is.
Yeah, no, he is. I mean, his grandpa was.
Of course. And he said that he was returning the favor. So they asked him about, a reporter asked him, what do you say to people who think that you're not even a natural-born citizen and you have such an outsized influence on American government? And he said, well, the Americans interfered and did away with apartheid. I can't say that word for whatever reason. And but I'm just now I'm returning the favor. Apartheid is a bad thing. So
he's a freaking ghoul.
He's a monster.
And there's also that part of like 4chan and stuff where
right.
They'll do the Nazi stuff to be like provocative. That's why I'm saying like
right.
He is likely an actual Nazi, but at the very least, he was like trying to troll and be funny.
That's what.
And those
that's
people
what he
don't
thinks.
Realize how stupid they are. Like, not only
Right.
is it just a morally gross thing to do, but you're not cool, you're not smart,
No.
you're not edgy. That's something that they did in the 70s in like the punk scenes and stuff. They would kind of like
True.
wear the swastikas,
That
but
is
do it
true.
ironically. And then you know what happened?
Right.
They grew up.
Right.
They realized it was a stupid thing to do, and they grew up. And
Yeah.
it also backfired on them because they started getting actual Nazis
Oh, wow.
showing up.
There you go.
So they actually, realized like, oh, we shouldn't have done this. It wasn't provocative. It wasn't funny or
Right.
interesting. It was we kind of
true.
attracted the wrong crowd now. So
Right.
they freaking grew up, and now you see these 4chan
Right.
clowns,
and,
or whatever
and
they
this
are,
fucking
doing
guy,
this, and they
like,
think
what is
they're
he?
they
He's
think
like
they're
60.
original.
Right, exactly. And it's really, they're just ignorant. And that's the other thing about, I'm sure you saw that Elon Musk, he is an actual Nazi. He spoke to the German Nazis.
Yeah. He spoke
I mean-
to them. All this stuff. I mean, I'm still on Twitter. It's
Yeah,
hard.
I'm on there too.
But I am still on Twitter. And yeah, I mean, you see the stuff he shares, and I mean,
Oh,
it's all
right.
like just
Right.
straight up dog whistles and stuff. I mean, it's frightening. It's the fact someone else tweeted this. I wish I could give the credit, but to paraphrase something that they said that I thought was very brilliant. They were like, the fact that RFK even got this far is just a true societal failure.
Right.
And I have a feeling he's going to get in, but just the fact that
I
he
know.
got this far
I
is
know.
just a gross societal failure.
Exactly.
And,
Wow. It's
yeah.
true. And Kash Patel and Tulsi Gabbard. And
Yeah.
I mean, Tulsi Gabbard is a real kook. Like, really, right out of, like, you know.
I mean, look, I was once fooled by her. There was a period of time where I thought she was sincere, and I
Right.
liked what she was saying about foreign policy. She was saying something no one else was. In the debates, back in the optimistic
True.
2019
True.
days where she
When
shredded
we were
Hillary
young.
Clinton and shredded Kamala
True.
Harris. I mean, it was beautiful to see. And then you realized it was, she was just auditioning for a role, like there was no, because she has toured, and I know her. I mean, I've spent time, not a lot of time,
Oh,
but
really?
like I've met her a few times.
Oh, wow.
The first time I met her, I was actually pretty impressed. And then the second time I met her, I was like, I feel like you're not sincere
Wow.
about anything.
Well,
but I kind of
she's
was like, well,
from
maybe
a cult,
it's just me.
you know. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I will never judge somebody based on how they grew
True.
up, and because people can change. And there was a time where I thought her change was genuine, but then it's like you kind of look at her. She has run the political gamut.
Yes.
She was a DNC. I
She's
mean,
a
first she
grifter.
grew up in a conservative house, whatever. I don't put that on. I mean, that people can't affect how they grew
True,
up.
but I mean, it's a real kooky, like, their whole thing is based on anti-gay, you know.
Right,
So.
which she embraces.
Yeah,
embraces,
but then
even-
she
even
went
then
to-
she said she didn't.
Right, exactly.
And she, she was a DNC darling. Then that didn't work out for her. So then she kind of went like lefty. And that was when I was like, oh, I think she's the real deal. And then that didn't work out for her. So then she kind of went to this like sort of pseudo-libertarian, just like chronically online perspective. And that wasn't giving her enough attention. So then she just went straight up MAGA. And, who knows where she'll be next week. I mean,
know.
she's literally just toured the gamut. And so did RFK, by the way. RFK,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
lifelong right-wing Democrat his
Yeah, but-
entire
right.
freaking life.
Exactly.
His entire life, he was in bed with Clinton. His family was close to Clinton. He endorsed
True.
Clinton. Every opportunity he got, he endorsed a
Well,
Clinton.
he's a grifter, too,
Then-
you know.
Oh, he's a big. I mean, that's putting it gently for what he is. I mean, and then he, they weren't giving him the attention he needed. His own family was calling him for what he is, which is just a
Yes.
brain dead narcissist.
He's disgusting.
So
Yeah.
he goes to, he goes to the Libertarians. I have a lot of disagreements with Libertarians, but I will give credit where it's due. They sniffed him out. They said no thank you to
wow.
that clown. Yeah, they didn't want him. He wanted their nomination. They were like, no, dude.
Oh, shit. That's right. I forgot about that.
Libertarians said no. So he just went back. I mean, he would have taken a job anywhere.
Yeah. Right.
So
right.
when Trump said, is your name Greek? He said, yeah, my name's Greek. And, it's ridiculous.
It is.
And there's still people who take that guy seriously, which
I
is
know.
amazing to me.
Well, actually,
I mean-
there's some guy in this neighborhood who's in some real shack, and he's got a JFK. For
RFK.
president. RFK for president. And I was like, this makes sense. It's
A
like
lot
this.
of people think he's something he isn't. And a lot of people don't understand. They have this very hyper-tribal mentality where it's like, oh, well, I don't really like the Democratic establishment much, so if they don't like him, he must be good. Life doesn't work that way. This is not,
Right,
like
true.
you're supposed to be taught that sentiment in like middle school. The enemy of your enemy isn't necessarily your friend.
Right. Totally.
Like, I don't like the Democratic establishment either. I sure as hell don't like RFK, though, who's,
Right.
by the way, a lot closer to the Democratic establishment than you or I will ever be. At the end of
True.
the day, he still goes to dinner parties that we are never going to be invited to. He still rubs with those elbows. He will
Maybe
never
not
have to worry
anymore,
about
though.
anything. No, he'll still be fine. He'll still be fine.
Right.
I mean,
He
money
is a
talk.
Kennedy, after all.
He's
so.
a Kennedy.
But that's probably why. I mean, he had to be a Democrat because he was, his whole his family history or whatever. But he clearly,
he could have
anybody
thought for himself at any point. He never did.
True.
I mean,
But anybody who puts chicks in a blender, I don't know about. Hold on, we'll be right back with Ron Placone.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, you didn't hear that? His cousin Caroline came
I
out
heard
with
about. I mean, I heard about the dog. I heard about the bear.
Oh, he's a piece of. He's a fucking disgusting animal
No,
abuser.
he's a gross guy. I mean, his story was so bizarre, it even creeped Roseanne out. That's how, like, messed up his story
I
was.
know.
Even Roseanne was creeped out by that.
About the bear, right?
And, like, all of his stories, they basically have the same theme. I'm really rich and have no idea what consequences are. I've never had to live with anything resembling a consequence.
But who sees
idea
a
what that's
baby
like.
bear get hit by a car and goes yum?
sociopath.
Yeah, exactly. Because who knows? That
Freaking
fucking bear
sociopath.
might have been alive still, and he could have helped it. But of course, not somebody like him. And that's what his cousin Caroline said, that he would put baby chicks and mice in a blender and feed it to his hawks. And it's just so cruel. Who does that? Who could do that? Who could pick up a little beautiful little chick and even a little mouse and put it in a blender? What a horrible fucking dirtbag. And that's kind of...
I hear what you say about the blender part, but, I mean, when you add the context of he was feeding a hawk.
Yeah, but, okay, he could... I don't know. but the whole point
hey,
is
just
that.
Just to be fair.
Why is he having a whole? Yeah, right.
No. I get it with the blender part, but just to be totally fair, just so we're we're kind of like owning things on our side of the street too. If there's a baby chick, and I am in a situation where my cat needs to eat that baby chick.
That's a different story.
Well, I'm just saying.
You gotta, but you're humane.
Like,
I don't know if you fucking blend it.
No, I wouldn't blend it. I wouldn't torture it. I would, just end it as painlessly as I could. But that
hopefully
will
he'll
be my
never
cat.
be in that situation. So,
well, I hope so too,
but she said, I mean, he kept these birds because he liked fucking showing them off and blending the goddamn chicks. Okay.
Well, that's the effed up part. If he enjoyed it, that's the effed up
and
part. If it
that's
was just
what
he's feeding
she
his
said,
bird,
that he's a predator, so that's why he had predators as pets.
Yeah.
So
no, he's a creepy guy.
He's fucking disgusting.
He is just really creepy in so many ways.
Yeah, and they're all like that though. Like animal abuse, like Kristi Noem dragging a dog, a puppy, to a gravel pit and shooting
Mitt Romney.
Yeah, putting a dog. I mean, they have no.
Yeah.
What's
what's
wrong
They're not very
with
empathetic
them?
people.
No.
So it's like if you don't have empathy for humans, you're not going to have it for animals.
Yeah, and that's why.
Although certain sociopaths, they have it for animals and not people.
Well, I think.
But
I have heard of that. I mean,
you've seen The Sopranos?
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Funny.
Right.
And
that's
that
true.
is a personality. I mean, obviously he's a fictional character, but.
But most sociopaths, I don't know. I listened to Candace DeLong's what's that called? Something about it's Killer Psyche. She was an FBI profiler. So anyway,
those podcasts are a goldmine.
I know.
People love them.
I love Candace DeLong. She's great. I love her.
I'm not familiar. But
well, she's she's an older lady now, but she retired. But she worked for the FBI. In the behavioral science, and they say that Clary Starling was based on her or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know. All right.
And she does that show, Killer Deadly Women. That one. She hosts that show. And anyway, it's all crime.
Yeah.
She was also a
People love
psychiatrist.
those
Yeah. She's great, but I like her because she talks about not just crime or whatever, but she goes into the psychology of people and like criminal profiling and things like that. So, but yeah, and speaking of empathy, that's what we were just talking about before we called you here, because there was some maggot pastor that tweeted, "Don't commit the sin of empathy," after the bishop read the Bible to Trump. Be kind to the stranger, and the maggots all lost their minds about it. Don't commit the sin of empathy.
That's so.
But that's who
there was that other religious guy that did the Nazi gesture, right?
Oh, that's right, the pastor.
That guy did that. I mean, that's like, I don't know.
Why? What the? I gotta get Candace DeLong on here to do a criminal psyche on these fucking Republicans. I really like to know, like, what is it? What is it?
We are a nation of various political cults, and what it is it's because. Well, there's a number of reasons, I think. I think one of the big reasons is our system is so effed up where nobody is on your side. I mean, like nobody is on your side. The federal government is just set up to serve the elite. That's just the way it's set up. You can buy an election all the time.
Well,
it is an incredibly corrupt system.
That's the problem.
If you look at any type of election integrity index worth a damn, we rank incredibly low.
Yes.
We're right down there with countries like Russia, and
that's
we deserve
what Jimmy
to be.
Carter said years ago.
Yeah,
he was monitoring elections. He said we were an oligarchy years ago. He said it.
And we have been ever since. I mean, and a lot of that. I mean, I don't agree with everything Carter did, and a lot of that kind of did start with him. But he was right when he said that. He was 100% right on.
Yeah.
And then it got even worse with Reagan, and we've been in the same place ever since. We basically had various versions of Reagan in as long as since he's been around. So I think people will create political fan fiction about whatever their Wall Street sponsored side is. I mean, you see it.
That's the thing.
You see it with MAGA big time, and we don't even need to dive into MAGA. But then you see it with blue MAGA too, where it's like nothing is Joe Biden's fault. It's always everybody else. So, you see it across the board.
Right.
And then, with people, I'm a leftist, and some leftists, I think, have a reasonable prescription for how we can start to change things. But then some of them are just totally nihilistic about it. And
like
they don't.
What do you like? What do you mean in the specifics, let's say? Because I want to know, really, because what do
I mean? Like
I think that money in politics and the media are two.
Well, which one do you want me to answer? Like
well,
what do I think is a healthy prescription for
know.
change, or what do I think is like the nihilistic perspective, or both?
Yeah, both. What do you what's the nihilistic?
So for me,
yeah.
Well, I just think there's a lot of stuff, especially like in the online space and whatnot. You have some people where being contrarian just for the damn hell of it matters more than actually getting things right or getting getting somewhere, basically. You have people that just they just have they're just totally checked out, so they'll just whine and bitch and moan and then wag their finger at anybody trying and point the holes in anything. Like it's just like, oh well, this organization sucks because they did this and this. This organization sucks. This group sucks. This person's not. And it's just like, look, if you're looking for things wrong with any given group, you'll find it. You'll find it. You're never going to find an organization that checks every single box that you have. I'm not saying settle for bullshit, but I am saying, know the difference between, somebody who's clearly working against your interest and somebody who is maybe just not perfect. Because guess what? You're not either. So that's and it's a fine line to walk, because some people will take everything I just said and use it to justify, settling for really, really shitty candidates and really, really shitty people. And that's not the point I'm trying to make at all. So there's that element. As far as what I think is a healthy prescription for change, or one that's realistic, local. I mean, local is everything.
That's
I was talking to my friend Jess recently, who's a really, really interesting speaker and author. And she actually did a project where she read all of 2025 and documented it in YouTube videos. Glutton for punishment. But, when I talked to her,
that is
I'm
a good
well,
idea.
What can we do? She goes, now is the time to really know, how do things in your community work? Where's your water coming from exactly? Who is in charge on that water board? What are your schools like? Who's calling the shots there? This is stuff we should always be doing, by the way.
True.
And I'm good at some of these, not all of them. I think we all are. I think some of us, we're like, okay, we're keeping an eye on that. That, not so much. I couldn't tell you who's on my school board. I don't freaking know. I don't have kids.
Right.
I don't know. I know a little bit about my city council member. I know about my mayor. And I'm paying attention to the votes. I definitely let my voice be heard about how I would like them to vote pretty much all the time. But yeah, I think getting involved with mutual aid, really knowing what's going on locally around you. If you are going to get involved with electoral politics, do it at the local level. Run for city council, run for mayor, run for school board, run for water board.
Yeah, that's where you got to start.
Really,
at least.
Yeah. Know what you can do when you engage and mobilize in a small situation. I mean, you can just, and that makes a big difference, because at the end of the day, what's going on in your neighborhood impacts your life more than almost anything. I mean, if you make a list, and the one.
Wait, hold on a second. Well, this is yeah, I know we've come to the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show, but come on over to youtube.com/C for channel /Tarabuster to hear the rest of the show with Ron Placone. We will win one of these days, I guess, because we're on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. We stick together, we win. My name is Tara Devlin. I'll see you soon. And this is Ron Placone. Hold on. Hold on.
No, we're not.
Almost. I don't know. It's taking a long time for this song to wrap up. There we go.
I can't hear it. I'm sure it's very lovely.
I can't believe that you can't hear it. I gotta fix that. I need a goddamn I need an engineer or somebody to. There must be a way to route this through the Skype feed. But anyway, whatever, whatevs. What were you saying? I'm sorry to interrupt, but now we're free. We can just be free without music.
Just saying about how like engaging locally, getting involved. So one of the things that I have started to do that I recommend everyone does, because I think it'll make you feel a little bit better about what's going on in the world, is make a list. And obviously, I mean, things like, endless war and stuff like that. Like don't put that on the list, because that's something that I mean, I'm not saying don't think about those things, but I'm saying that's not a healthy thing to add to this list. But make a list about the things in your life that you that you would like to see be differently as it pertains to your environment. I mean, you can make a list for things beyond you too. I'm not saying only be focused on yourself. I'm not suggesting that at all.
Don't be Republican
but for the sake of this exercise, it's like, make a list of all the things in your life that you would like to see different. And then you're going to notice that most of those things have nothing to do with the president. Most of those things have nothing to do with your congressperson. Most of those things have something to do with, your mayor, your utility company, whatever else. Not all of them. Some of them are going to have to do with the president. Some of them are going to have to do with your congressperson. But you're going to find that a lot of them don't. For most people. I mean, I guess I can't speak for everyone. But I will say, if you make that list and the only thing on your list is in the hands of the president, you got a pretty good freaking life.
Yeah, it can't be.
You got a pretty good freaking life.
That is true.
You're probably rich.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, I mean, but we're all connected. For like when these people, this is why I think, what we were saying earlier. When these tariffs are coming into effect on Saturday, apparently, and it's going to make things a lot worse.
No, it's going to make it a lot worse. Yeah, no, there's no getting around that. I mean,
it's going to be horrible. But then I think that's why I'm not, on some level, I'm like, well, hey, these fucking people got to wake up. And this was the whole, like, Susan Sarandon point of view back when, whatever, like Hillary, maybe people need to wake up. But this time, because it's so much worse, I never thought that. I don't want people, because I don't really want people to suffer, but I do want the right-wingers, of course, to see the consequences of their actions, that it does matter. That it does matter that we have a president and a government, because he's got the whole damn thing. He's got it all. And these billionaires, So that's the problem. That the fact that we have these billionaires who are that, and this is what I hope comes out of it, that people wake up to see that billionaires are anathema to freedom. And how disgusting it is that you have, let's say, Zuckerberg and Musk and all of them.
They're all buddies.
And they're all horrible. But these people can end hunger in this country or in the world, for Christ's sakes. They could end homelessness.
Yes.
They could end, and they choose not to. Instead, they're sending people pink slips. That is disgusting. And it really is not, it's sociopathy. And I don't know if you saw Michael Fanone, one of the Capitol Police who was assaulted on January 6th, and he was on CNN, and of course, after the pardoning of all of these fucking domestic terrorists, he made a statement. He said, we are selfish, we are this is like talking about the American people, and he's 100% correct. And I think that
I didn't hear him. But yeah, we're very selfish.
Yeah, he's like,
people.
we don't care about each other. We don't care about our fellow Americans. We only care if something affects us, and we are absolutely selfish. And and
most
that's
Americans are
heartbreaking.
just working 2 and 3 jobs to survive.
No,
that's what
you're
it is.
right.
It's just like we have this. We've set up a very ridiculous culture.
Of course.
And it's really freaking sad. So of course we have less of a sense of community. I will say, by the way, quick side note, Susan Sarandon is awesome. I love Susan Sarandon.
No,
I don't understand the people who who neg on her, I just don't get it.
I'm not negging on her. I
know
like her
you
too.
weren't. I know you weren't.
I'm just saying, but that's what they said. Whatever.
Yeah. She said like maybe people will wake up, which was a sentiment that I totally was feeling too. I'm like, I hope people do. On the same note, I didn't in 2020. I didn't think that Trump winning again would wake anybody up. Because I feel like I'm like, well, if you only wake up when a Republican's in charge, ever really awake.
He's not even a Republican. I mean, he's beyond. It's worse than just being a Republican. Yeah, but I mean, it's worse than being a Republican. He's just a fascist incarnation.
Because the Republicans are fascists.
Look what I know that. I've been saying that for years, and every Republican chest beats the heart of fascism. But he's an openly. What he's doing, firing, everything that he's doing, just even tonight, sending out letters to the FBI, you're going to be fired. So it's like, who's going to replace these people? This is Hitler.
He's breaking it all down, which, by the way, could be a good thing if you replaced it with something better.
Yeah, but he's replacing it with Kash Patel, and,
No, that's what I'm saying. Like when a system's broken, it needs to be replaced, but you're not guaranteed to replace it with something better.
Yeah,
and he's replacing it with something worse. But really, I think that's the path the GOP's been on a long time, though.
Of course, he just smashed us into a wall at 90 miles an hour instead of the 50 miles an hour that we were on. That's what I think.
I see what you're saying. I don't completely disagree. I just feel like, I think when people say things like, oh, well, he's beyond that, I'm like, no. The GOP really is that disgusting. Like, they really are. Like, because it's like, politically, Project 2025 is not his idea.
No.
That's
none of it is.
From the Heritage Foundation.
He's a puppet.
That goes back 40 some years. The Bush administration had their own version of it with the New American Century. It's all the same stuff. It's just repackaged a little bit. So it's like, it's the same playbook. I don't want people. The reason I say this, I don't want people to think, oh, if we get a respectable Republican, no, because there is no such thing.
No.
And when people say like, oh, this is. When Nancy Pelosi says that nonsense, like, oh, we need a strong Republican.
Oh, no, fuck that. No way.
No,
that drives
BS.
me nuts when she says that.
And that's why I'm just like, no,
ridiculous.
Trump is the GOP.
Right. No, and the Republican...
he's their person.
No, you're really... That's what well, as far as Nancy Pelosi, I have like a whole bunch of clips of her saying that bullshit, and it drives me insane, and I would call her office and leave a message, but no one ever got back to me. I would say, what have they done that's so good? Every time you say this, the American people need the Republican Party that's done so much good for America. What have they done? Name one fucking thing.
Right. They helped her stocks
so
out.
It's stop saying this shit. And if what would happen, we don't need a Republican Party, because what would happen if they were gone, if they went the way of the Whigs, the Democratic Party would break into conservative and, more liberal factions. That's what would happen. And but they would have a commonality that maybe they both wanted a functioning government. But
I just wish we could. Obviously, at the end of the day, I really wish we just didn't have the two-party system. And the way it's set up now, we can't get out of it. But I think that's something that is not impossible to break. And it's not impossible. It's been done before. It could be done.
Break the wheel. It's been
I feel like
Khaleesi.
you got to. There's a couple. If a couple big things happened, it would be a possibility. And if we got if one member of the Green Party or something like that somehow got into Congress or the Senate, that would, even one person, that would be a big. Imagine if the Squad, which by the way they could do this. Imagine if the Squad just joined a different political party, which is something you can do in office. If they did that, all of a sudden they would just be beholden to their district and the voters. They wouldn't be beholden to the Democratic Party anymore.
Well, they would have to be independents, I guess, at this point, right? If that's
they could be Greens. They could be probably Greens or.
But then you wouldn't get That's the thing. They don't get money from the Democratic Party, and then they could actually get.
They face a bunch of primary challengers anyway. I mean, the Democratic Party is trying to get rid of. I mean, they're going to try to get rid of Rashida Tlaib as soon as they can. They won't be able to soon because she won with 70% in her district. But they'll try to get rid of her. You know, they got rid of Cori Bush. They got rid of Jamal Bowman.
Right.
You know, they're going to try to get rid of Ilhan Omar.
But it was Jamal Bowman got, AIPAC money thrown at him. That's what happened there. They spent, it wasn't the Democratic Party. So.
Come on.
I don't know.
They're pretty tight. They're pretty tight. AIPAC and the Democratic Party.
I don't know. True. There's no.
There's not a whole lot.
Not that they would ever criticize them, for sure. That's for sure.
No, never. And they get plenty of money, and so that's going to help.
Well, this is the problem here. Money in politics. That is why we're in this. This is what I believe. We're in this boat because of money in politics, and of course, the deregulated media, and it's only going to get worse thanks to what we're up. And now, with Kash Patel, they're going after the media. As you saw, I don't know if maybe you didn't see, there's some local.
Don't they have everything they want? What else do they want?
They want it all. That's what they want. This is the problem. They want it all. They want
have a
it
complete
all.
corporate-controlled media.
Yes.
Like what? How much?
Well, they
worse?
want it to be completely in like Fox News, like every channel.
Yeah, pretty much is.
That's it.
It pretty much is.
I know. That's the other. That's the problem. And the corporate media, and I mean, the whole campaign was basically my show, like going on about like the so-called liberal media. They did they did nothing.
Thing.
Yeah,
of course. Watch our news with somebody.
Oh,
who's
I know.
Not from this country.
It's heartbreaking.
Like just watch. They're just
the
confused.
BBC. Just watch a feed of the BBC, like an act like from England.
Yeah,
and
it's so much better.
You'll cry.
And by the way, the BBC is like it has its own slew of issues. It's not some perfect entity by any means.
Yeah, but you'll get the whole world view and all. They go all around. They go to like, and now we go to Africa.
Journalism.
Now we go. You hear. I'm like, wow, I would never have heard this. On corporate media, they'll do a poll on what people think if Joe Biden's old or something. It's just.
No, they're a million times better than us. Is what I'm saying.
It is heartbreaking.
My point was that they're not necessarily great, but compared to us, they are.
Oh, I know.
This bastion of truth. But that's more of a reflection of how bad we are.
Yes.
Yes. And it's the worst. I mean, anybody, even just a regular person, like my friend, a friend of mine grew up in Canada, and she's very astute.
Lucky
like she's
bastard.
a smart person, but she's not like, living, breathing politics or anything like that. But she was like, oh, so when I moved to this country, one of the first things I learned was you guys just don't really have news here. It's not a thing. You just don't do that here.
See? You see? That's what I mean. That is heartbreaking, because that was not the way years ago when Edward R. Murrow, when the big three networks had their news division, it was a point of pride that it would not make money. It was about public service.
Yeah, it was about service, which is the way it should be, and they used to actually fund that stuff.
That's right.
But that's
gone. It's absolutely gone, and it's all about making money. And that's why they love this endless campaign, which is driving people insane. But also there's been studies about the divisiveness or the division in the country, and it stems from the Telecommunications Act, where Bill Clinton signed the Telecommunications Act, and we have these silos of information now, which has really divided the country. And I always talk about I know what we need to do, and one of the things is we are very selfish. That's why FDR created Social Security to belong to everyone, as he said, so no damn politician can scrap it. And that's why Republicans want to means test Medicare, and they're against against universal health care. Because in order to have this is what I always say about Democrats. You can message this as saying it's not just the right thing to do. It's a patriotic imperative. We are Americans. We don't leave anybody behind. You know, we don't leave them behind on the battlefield. We don't leave them behind on the battlefield of sickness, illness, education. You know, that's how you have to frame it. But, you know, they don't. That's what I know. They don't. That's what I'm saying. They need to. But,
most Democrats aren't really even fighting for that thing. I mean, most of them are against universal health care. I think some of them genuinely want to see it happen. I think Bernie Sanders truly wants to see single payer. I think AOC does.
Of course,
I think Ilhan Omar does. But I think a lot of them, if push came to shove, they would not vote for it.
Well, that's because, even during when they were trying to repeal Obamacare, or even during the Obamacare, whatever, the horror show of that whole time, the Democrats would say, even Pete Buttigieg would say, it would drive me fucking nuts. Like when the Democrats were doing their, their debates, and Pete Buttigieg would say, well, you know, we don't want to interfere with the unions who are have negotiated good health care plans for their members, and that's it's just bullshit. It's a bullshit, selfish, I got mine, sucks to be you argument, and saying that, oh, because I have good health care. And then someone, I was reading something about how this woman who had a good plan, because she was in a union, she was, her and her husband were getting, I guess they were getting laid off or something, and now they wouldn't have their good health care. And that's when they realized, oh shit, this is why we need universal health care, because like now all of a sudden it affected them. You see, they were losing theirs.
Yeah, instead of realizing, hey, it's bad for your
my
job,
cat just went behind the, hold on. Boudica, get out of there. God. Anyway, no, because right before I went on the air, my cat went behind the computer and pulled out the internet. So.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I'm just hoping. Buddha, come on, honey.
So can I?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know you have your movie. Yes, of course. I'm sorry. You got a movie. I didn't watch it. No, but I want to. I will watch it. I saw some of it. I was watching it. And I didn't finish it because I didn't have the time. But I was like, oh, I'm watching that. It was great.
It's just a little over an hour, folks. So it's not that long. But you can break it up into 2 sittings if you want to.
What's the name of it?
It's called Left at Wall.
Left at Wall.
Yeah, it's called Left at Wall, and you can get it now on Apple TV, on Google Play,
wonderful.
on YouTube Movies. It just came out on Amazon today. It's on Amazon now.
Get out of here, you son of a bitch.
It's everywhere, not everywhere, but you can definitely get it. It's on demand. So basically, if you're at your smart TV, just type in Left at Wall, it'll come up. Or you can get it, right on YouTube. You can rent it right from YouTube. So
Do you want me to play the trailer?
Yeah,
Hold on, I gotta play it off the screen though. So let's see. Right. That's amazing. Where's the audio? Is it playing? Hold on a second. Is it fucking playing? Sorry.
The White House just held a press conference.
Wrong video. Okay. Left at Wall official trailer. Get rid of this.
So you must want to.
Oh wait, sorry guys. I'm trying to get rid of these lower thirds here.
No way. Certainly don't think of it as something where you kind of have to outdo what Tiffany and I did. We had such a big wedding because it means nothing to us. Her family has money, I have a ton of money.
Don, can we not talk about money right now?
Well, why else are you telling me this?
Because you're my brother.
Hold on, guys. Sorry, fucking shit. I wasn't prepared. It's all good. This is after Progressive Voices. Wait a minute. So tell me about the movie though. Like, how did you do this?
I've been working on it for a while. So
did you write
comedy.
It or?
Yeah, I wrote it. Yeah, I wrote it.
Okay.
I wrote it, and I'm in it. I play the main guy, and I ended up directing it too.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So
I'm gonna play it. Hold on.
All right.
I swear to God, it's gonna happen. Here we go.
So you must want to talk about something if you came all the way here. What's up?
I'm gonna propose.
No way. Certainly don't think of it as something where you kind of have to outdo what Tiffany and I did. We had such a big wedding because it means nothing to us. You know, her family has money, I have a ton of money.
Don, can we not talk about money right now?
Well, why else are you telling me this?
Because you're my brother.
So, I'm a writer. My brother Don is on Wall Street. They basically created a casino out of our economy.
No, we're short selling the stock, which is financial jargon for, you probably wouldn't understand.
You know, I bet I would.
It's just you guys are so hard on each other.
What the hell do you mean you don't know how to make an old-fashioned? How about this? Let me behind the bar, I'll make the old-fashioned myself.
Give me a break, pal. Does this place look like we make old fashions?
I just can't do this anymore. I think we need a break.
What? So there I was. No girlfriend, no work, no agent. Was this rock bottom? And that's when I got an idea.
Dude, Game Bites. We all need to buy shares of it.
I lost a lot because of these idiot hackers.
Well, they're not hackers, but... This isn't about you, Don. This is bigger. This is about sticking up to this corrupt system and actually fighting back for once.
Oh, shut up, John.
Congratulations. That's exciting.
Yeah, thank you.
How the hell did you... So what happened? Tell me the story. Like, how did you...
Well, I mean, it's inspired by the GameStop thing that happened in 2021. So I got the idea, just like the idea to make a story about that shortly after it happened. So it happened in January of 2021. By August of 2021, we had finished our first trailer. Like, I had written the screenplay and I wrote the trailer. I financed the trailer myself, and we shot a trailer to try to raise the rest of the funds to actually do the film. And between the pandemic and raising funds and building the team and everybody's tour schedule, it took some time, but we finally got what we needed and broke ground on shooting in 2023. And now it's totally out. We did screenings last year in 2024. We did screenings in LA, Pittsburgh, DC. Some of them I wasn't even at. There was a screening in Tucson. There was a screening. I did a screening in London. It was really, really cool.
Damn, kid.
And now it's it's out to the world, and like I said, and by the way, if you don't use any of the platforms I mentioned, well, you're using YouTube because you're watching it right now. You can get it right here on YouTube.
Oh wow,
so
that's amazing.
It's on YouTube.
I'm gonna put it. I'll put the link in the description when I
Yeah, and I can send you all like the right links.
Yes, send me all the links, please. Definitely.
The YouTube link and
I'll put it all in there. That's amazing. So it's on Apple, it's on Amazon, it's on...
Yeah, it's on Apple,
How
it's on
did you
Amazon.
do that? How
And
did you get it in there? I'm very impressed.
I got distribution.
Very good.
Yeah, I got
son
distribution.
Of a bitch. How the hell did you get the money? How you gotta tell me all the secrets. This is great.
I mean, I don't know if I have secrets, but yeah, I mean, it was mostly just most of it was from listeners, to tell you the truth. I mean, it was just like some of it was just people who knew me, some friends, some family, and then some listeners that just I was close to what I needed, but I wasn't quite there, so I kind of just threw up a Hail Mary, and I was like, would anyone want to invest in my movie? And
that's
people
great.
did.
So you directed it as well?
I directed it.
And you wrote it, and that's great. I mean, it's just wonderful.
If I'm being brutally honest, I would have liked to have had someone else directing it. I mean, there's a couple things that I wasn't totally sure I was going to do, but was willing to do. But I just didn't have. I mean, I only had so much money, right? And so it was easier for me. All right, so I just sent you the Amazon link and
how did you
YouTube Movies link and the Apple TV link.
But I mean, what did you shoot it on and all that too? Like, how did you shoot it? Who did you?
Forget. Well, the DP, her name is Jessica Gallant. She's amazing. I highly recommend her to anyone doing a movie in Los Angeles. She did a great job. But it was like a Sony something. I forget the exact model.
Is it a digital camera or what kind of
yeah,
like
okay.
Video
camera. I mean,
Just wondering.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
not film, it's digital, right?
Right. I mean,
okay.
I found the DP through like just a filmmakers Facebook group on like an LA filmmakers group on Facebook. It was actually funny. Like I was just kind of like looking around because I hadn't found the right DP yet, and I saw her actually put in for a job, and she's really into punk rock music. And she grew up in Cleveland, and I kind of thought, I don't know if she would be willing to do a movie like this. She's done some really high-profile stuff, and I'm just like, this is my first feature film, whatever.
Right.
But I hit her up, and I go, hey, I don't know if you'd want to do this, but I have this comedy, and, I grew up in Pittsburgh, you grew up in Cleveland, we're both punk rockers, so, I thought maybe you might, we might get along and like working together. And she responded, and she goes, I love doing comedy. And she goes, send me the script. And so I did, and she goes, let's shoot this thing. And I was like, fantastic. So, yeah, I mean.
That's great.
The team kind of just
very
came
impressed.
together.
What are you doing now? Are you writing another movie, or are you?
Yeah, I got 2 more in production. I got a documentary.
Yeah. On what?
I got a documentary, and you know what? So I'm not public about the documentary.
Oh, okay,
it's
that's
a
fine.
sensitive topic.
I hear you.
But I will tell you this: I'm gonna send you. I will send it to you privately after we're done here, and you're going to. Well, no, it's not even that. It's a little. You in particular, you're gonna be a little disturbed.
Oh no! Is it about animals?
Well, I'll send it to you.
Oh,
but
I don't want to. Oh God, I hate that.
Or I won't. I mean,
no, send it to me. But I don't know
right.
if I can handle it. If it's
right.
about abusing animals.
All right.
I mean,
right.
send it, but at
you.
least I know what it's about. Wait,
I'm gonna send it to you, and then yeah, I'm working on another movie that we're also launching as a stage play.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so
Congratulations. That's great.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
thank you.
It's wonderful.
I started doing that kind of stuff just 2 years ago, like 2022. Really. I mean, when I did that trailer, I was like, I want to make a movie, and it was a hell of a process because it was my first movie that I ever made. But yeah, I mean, I kind of got bit by the bug, I guess, and now I want to try to do more of it.
Right.
And yeah, I'm really. Some people ask this, so I'll go ahead and answer it. We were before Dumb Money, like we were first. Our trailer was out before they were.
Dumb Money? Is that that's like another one that's like this?
That's a movie that's about the GameStop, but theirs is directly about it. Ours isn't. Like all the characters are fake. Like they're not.
I see.
Like none of the characters are Roaring Kitty or anything like that. The story is completely different. It's just basically using that as a backdrop and kind of nodding to it. Theirs was actually based off the real people.
Do you think they stole it from you or found out about it? Oh, okay.
No, I think they definitely knew. Because, I mean, look, I think Sony put that movie out. Sony has a lot of money. And when they make movies like that that's based off of something that happened, they hire people to comb the internet to see if they're similar.
True.
So if somebody was combing the internet looking for Left It Wall, they would have found it.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
It's not like I don't have some huge presence, but it's enough that if somebody's looking for it, they'll be able to find it.
Right.
But they probably saw our trailer and just said, look, their story is completely fictional. The names are different. It just loosely nods to the event. That's something totally different than what we're doing. And they didn't reach out, I mean,
right.
So I
so
don't...
what does Left at Wall mean? Is that like an inside joke in the show? Like, I'll always remember roses in the moonlight. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
Roses in the moonlight.
Well, the wall is just it's because of Wall Street.
Oh, Left at Wall.
Like it's kind of talking about Wall Street.
Okay.
So, because really, it's like just telling the story of what Wall Street is, but through the backdrop of the GameStop incident.
Right.
And
I wish I was on that GameStop train, man. I tell you.
Right. Yeah, me too, actually. But yeah. So it just kind of tells that story through that lens, and yeah, no, I'm happy with the way it turned out. I hope people enjoy it. Somebody described it. Some of my favorite testimonials we've gotten so far. Somebody described it as like the clerks for Gen Z.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which I thought was a pretty cool comparison.
Yeah, that is cool. Hey,
Yeah,
and because
like
that launched what's his name's whole career, right?
Kevin
What's that guy?
Smith.
Yeah, Kevin Smith.
Yeah, and so
that's great.
And people have, what else have people said about it that I thought was really, really nice? I mean, it's just, I like to describe it as imagine if The Big Short and High Fidelity had a baby, and then that baby joined a union. That's how I like to. That's how I like.
Which is
I mean,
great.
It's definitely. Yeah, I mean,
it's a great elevator pitch.
It's an anti-capitalist comedy, and but it's also just told under the, told with a family story. So it's like a feel-good, fun family story. It's not. I mean, it definitely has a point of view, but it's not overly preachy. At least I don't think it is.
What makes good message movies good? You can't.
Right.
You gotta.
So yeah, I mean, I made the movie that I wanted to make. I mean, when I wrote Left at Wall, I made like a narrative movie. I wrote a narrative movie with the thought that like, hey, if I have to make this on a phone, I can't.
Right. And that's some people have done that. Yeah. Right.
And they've done it well.
Yes.
They've done it well. So I'm not knocking that. I was just hoping to be somewhere in between, like a Hollywood feature and an iPhone movie. And I was. So, it was a wild experience making it. And now I just want everybody to see it. So please check it out.
I will watch it.
Yeah. And if you enjoy
it,
be
my Sunday chill out movie.
Perfect. Let me know what you think.
I will.
Again, everybody, you can get it literally right here on YouTube. You don't even have to leave this platform to get it. You can rent it from YouTube Movies. If it's not available, it's definitely available in the United States and Canada. Some other countries, it might be a bit tricky to get it because of that. But if you're trying to get it and you can't, let me know. I'll see what I can do to make sure you get it.
Yeah, if anybody has trouble,
like,
let me know too, and I can pass it on. That's wonderful.
Yeah, there's like a different link for Canada YouTube. Like there's a different link for like Canada on YouTube. But if you're in Canada and you're just on YouTube, if you just type in Left at Wall movie, it should just come up, and it should just be the Canadian one.
Right.
So yeah.
Wait, hold on, guys.
If it's not in your, I mean, I'm pretty sure on Amazon you should be able to get it. But.
Right. Hold on. Is Ron coming in smoothly? People on the chat, you kind of like you were just like stuttering there, like your video was going like. So I'm just wondering. But anyway.
Oh really?
Yeah, we're at the end of the show anyway. But yeah, choppy audio. People are saying, huh? I wonder why. Yeah, it just started happening. It was kind of, but no, it was fine. But it just started right now. I don't know what's happening.
Well, please go see my movie.
Yes, and that's it. It looks like something's going on.
Left
Let me
that
see.
Wall.
If my internet's still cooking, and there's the cat. So okay, she's not chewing on the wires or anything. Yeah. All right. Well, Ron, thank you so much for coming on the show and spending all this time discussing our the last days of the American Republic. And your amazing movie. That's so, I mean, I'm just very impressed, and I can't wait to watch it. And I hope everybody else checks it out. Damn, we stick together, we win. This is what we do. We support each other, and thank you for, taking the time.
Thank you for having.
Of course, anytime, and please.
I hope I'm coming in clear. Am I coming in clear? Or am I not coming clear?
You're chopping up there, kid. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, left at Wall. Peace.
Yes, Left at Wall, and
check it out.
I will. I'll let you go, and I will let you know what I think. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. I'm already impressed. But don't be a stranger, and let's stay in touch. All right.
Of course.
All right, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.
I'll see you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks for having me.
You
Peace.
got it. All right, everybody. Yeah, it was getting a little chopper-rapper there. I don't know what was happening. It was getting chooper-rooper, chopping and rapping. See, I'm very, I don't know. When people do things that I can't do, I'm like, wow, how'd you do that? Not that I can't do it. It's just like one of those things. I need to write a movie. Please. Maybe. Maybe. All right, listen, guys. Yes, good fortune to Ron. I'm going to put all the links in the description. I wonder if I could do that right now while we're here. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Check out left Ron's movie. This is what he should have sent me earlier, so I could have put it in there. Left at wall. Okay, here we go. Save a Rooney. Loody doody. There we go. Changes saved. And you got the links. All right, thank you guys. All right, listen. Hey, it was a little different. Show. What do you think? Less me screaming? I don't know. It's gonna be, we got some work to do. And hopefully this week we'll be back together with Robyn. We'll have another show so we can get through the week, midweek. Wait, let me just see what time we got here. Oh my God. The music is going. I didn't even know it because I didn't have it on. See? Well, that's all right. My name is Tara Devlin. I'll just lower it. We don't need the music. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Josie, for your kind words. Thank you, Elise and Jim, for your super chats. Thank you, Haiku, for being a moderator. Thank you, Jim, for being a moderator. If you can, please become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Keep the show going and growing because we need funding like everything. I don't know. I need fucking funding. I wish that I should have asked him maybe if he has any roles for a 6-foot lesbian who's, I don't know, Gen Z. What am I, Gen X? Yeah, I'm old. You know, in the 50s kind of Gen X. Very amazingly interesting and amazingly tall lesbian. I was going to say, I don't know. Why couldn't I have been born beautiful instead of incredibly interesting? I have no idea. That's just the way it turned out. Could be worse. It could be worse. Yeah, Boudica. She's such a pain in my ass. Where is she? Boudica. I don't know. I got to do something about her. Going behind the computer and knocking all my wires around. There's a lot of wires back there. I got to do something about that too. I need some kind of organization solution. I don't know. And I need an engineer. God damn it. And patrons to keep the show going and growing. And also, it would be great if we could do a damn daily show at a set time during this fascist takeover. And but the more every day it's going to suck. Saturday's going to suck. They're going to enclose it with chicken wire. I don't know how's that going to look in the decor. Chicken wire in the house. I wish I could put something, I don't know, it's like an octopus back there. There's like many wires. It's not, I don't know. What can you do? Oh, Elise is almost 6 feet tall too. Wonderful. Yes, I am exactly 6 feet tall, according to the United States government, who took my height when I was in the service. I always knew I was 6 feet anyway. They took my weight, my height. They looked in my mouth like I was a horse. They look all over your body. I don't know if anybody's ever joined the military on the chat there. But it is true, you know, you stand there in your underwear and then they come around and they look all over you to see if you got any problems that they just don't want to deal with, I guess. I don't know. I actually had a mole removed and they needed me to get my dermatologist to fax over that it wasn't cancerous. Oh, well, it's just so sad, though, when I think about it. I feel bad for every service member, every trans service member, every gay service member, every service member that has to look at that fucking baboon's face and Pete Hexek's face. Ugh, what a nightmare. Oh, my Lord. All right, well, whatever. I need to get unconscious. And I need to change the litter box. Let's put it that way. Somebody left me a present. I could smell it. And I don't like it. I don't like that smell. I don't know about you. All right, listen. It's like hanging out with Trump. He smells like shit, apparently. Shit and makeup. And cheeseburgers. That's what he smells like, according to insiders. All right, my loves. Listen, listen, listen. We will win. We will win. Why? Well, we are on the right side of history. We are on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Oh, also, I have a I'm in the Political Voices Substack. That's kind of cool. That's good. Hopefully, maybe we'll get some more patrons from there too. So I've been doing some videos for them and writing some articles. Political Voices. That's, you know who else is on there? John Fugelsang, Stephanie Miller. Maybe one day I'll be somebody. And the little person that I'm often confused with, her name is Tara Dublin. Do you know Tara Dublin? Well, my name is Tara Devlin, but Tara Dublin, and guess what? We might be doing a show together soon. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. We might be doing it. And you know what would have been a really good name for that show? Tarabuster. Unfortunately, it's taken. But we'll come up with another one. Listen, guys. Yeah, maybe big time. I don't know. I figure, like, what? Life begins at 60, maybe? I don't know. When I hit 60, I'll finally be hitting my stride. Look at me now, mama. Look at me now. I'm finally somebody. And then I figure Dublin's... think of some names. Tara's Dublin. That's a good one. Tara's Dublin. But then it sounds like her name, not my name. Or Dublin Tara's. That's good, too. You know, Tara's Dublin Devlin. No, you can't put or running with the Devlin. When I was a kid, that's what my friends used to say. They used to sing that song, Running with the Devil, but change it to Running with the Devlin. And, yeah. Think of some names. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you, Haiku. You and Mars. You guys are very, very creative people. Try to brainstorm some names. I can't do it alone. My fucking brain is full. My eyes are full. My brain is full. Tara's Dublin. Dublin, Tara's. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's a good name, but Dublin Devlin. That's good. Dublin Devlin. Tara Dublin Devlin? Then that sounds like it's my name. I don't know. Tara's. The Taras. I don't know. We gotta think more. Think and contact me if you know, we have a Discord page that's, I don't know, it's been kind of silent over. It's not really, because the Instagram stuff gets posted over there too. But I used to post more regularly, but nobody's there. So I got other shit to do. But sometimes I'll put pictures of Boudica, pictures of Spooky. I should be on there more often. It's just too much shit to do. But yeah, if you can. But you could also contact me there. That's a thing. That's where I'm trying to go. I'm trying to get there. God saw Merca and said, "This for Whitey," and it was so, says Mars. American History 101, Trump University, mandatory course for all the fast food cooking degrees. That's good. God saw America and said, this for Whitey. This for Whitey. Fuck these people, right? That's what they're saying. Might as well say that. And this for Whitey. See, they don't, it doesn't matter. They can't stop progress, ultimately. There's, you know, it's a diverse nation. Even when they're deporting people. One day, it will be a so-called minority-majority nation. And I can't wait. It can't happen fast enough. Buddha, look at these two. They're fighting. It's a fight. No fighting. They're fighting. Even the cats are fighting. Yeah, make it a shameful thing to be a bigot again. That's right. That's why the Democrats need to call it out. It's not DEI. It's you're a racist. You might as well just say it's all black people's fault. That's what they're saying. And make it shameful. Call them out. All right. Oh, yeah. And call the Trump plane crash. And the Trump disaster. You know, another Trump disaster. Another Trump plane crash. Another Trump whatever it might be. Trump 18. When do we start putting those stickers next to those egg prices like they did with Joe Biden? I did that. When do we start doing that with Trump? I hope somebody's making those stickers. I did that. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you for hanging out. Everyone's going nuts now. I need a haircut bad. That's how bad it is. That's how much I got no time. I can't even get a fucking haircut. Look at this shit. It's like a mop. It's like I bought a mop at the supermarket and put it on my head. All right, listen, I love you all. We are in this together. Thank God. Thank God I have you guys. But you can become patrons, you know. All right. I will see you during the week.